Welcome to this week's Amazing Animal Facts with We. This week's facts are brought to you by the letter F and the color green, a little throwback to Sesame Street. This week is all about frogs. Frogs have been on Earth as long as dinosaurs, and there are 6,000 species of frogs, but Europe has the fewest. My hunch is the environment there is not great for frogs. So their niche, they're carnivores. They eat insects and worms, and they swallow their prey whole. When they swallow, they actually lower their eyeballs to help get their prey down their throats. They're freshwater predators and prey. No frogs can live in salt water. So frogs have really long back legs with webbed feet they use for jumping and swimming, and they can jump up to 20 times their body length. Wait till you hear about the biggest frog and imagine how far it can jump. Eyes and nose are on the top of their heads so that when they're underwater, they can still breathe and they can still see what's going on around them. And they never need to drink because they absorb water through their skins. And just an FYI, toads are frogs. They're a special group with dry, warty skin, mostly live on land, and they have short, stumpy hind legs, which is why they named them toads. They're still carnivores, but they need water to hatch their eggs. The largest frog is the Goliath frog of West Africa, 1.5 feet long and can weigh 15 pounds. And the smallest one is a 1/2 inch long, the Cuban tree frog. The lifespan of frogs is pretty much unknown. In captivity, they live about 20 years. This is that Goliath frog. Look at it on the lap of that person. Frogs hibernate, so when temperatures start to drop, frogs burrow underground or in the mud at the bottom of ponds, and frog bones create a new ring of bone each year. Anatomy students, this would be periosteum. Every year they secrete a little bit of that. Herpetologists count these rings to estimate frogs' eggs, and in this picture you can see a toad above ground normally and then how it has burrowed to get ready to hibernate for the winter. So reproduction is unique. All frogs fertilize eggs outside the body, which is spawning just like fish. The female may lay her eggs and leave them, and the male comes a little while afterwards and deposits the sperm. Or the female may stop, lay her eggs. The male frog is on her back and deposits the sperm on the egg clutch. But there's no internal fertilization. They can lay up to 4,000 eggs, but not all do. Not all lay 4,000, but some species can. And they all eggs for any frog or toad have to stay moist or they will not hatch. The membrane around the egg would solidify and then the tadpole can emerge. And frogs have some pretty weird behaviors when it comes to reproduction. So some of them carry their eggs or their tadpoles. It just depends on the type of frog, on their back, some in their mouth. And there's one species that actually swallows the tadpoles. They fully form in her stomach and then they crawl up through her esophagus and out her mouth. Weird. And then there's one marsupial frog that actually has a pouch like a kangaroo. And sometimes the female carries, but males carry equally. So just depending on the species, the male might carry the tadpoles or babies around, or the female might carry the tadpole or babies around. Here you have a tree frog with its babies on its back. Woohoo! So Arctic frogs can survive with 65% of their body freezing through hibernation, and there is one type of desert frog in Australia that can go 7 years without water. And if it's going through one of those times, it secretes this transparent sac of skin around it to keep its body moist inside it as it's buried underground. And then once there's enough rain, that gets soft. It eats that transparent sac for its full meal to have energy, and then it's able to go out and feed until it gets too dry again and it has to protect itself. So the golden dart frog is the most poisonous frog on Earth. The skin of one frog has enough toxins to kill 1,000 people. Yikes! And the most brightly colored tropical frogs are toxic, and a painkiller derived from the frog's skin is 200 times more powerful than morphine. And there you have it. Interesting animal facts about frogs. I can't find frogs.